Hey guys, how's it going? My name's Always and welcome back to Captive Minecraft. In the last episode, we went down into the deep dark looking for diamonds. We didn't really find much, but between episodes I did go back down there and mined out. I had a total of 13 diamonds. I made a silk touch pickaxe with our enchanter. I also got another pickaxe and made efficiency 3 because I have been busy. We'll go look at that in a second. But before we can go over there, we need to make a few things. And so let's get some wood. And we're going to make 3 beds. And then we're going to make, let's see, we need a piece of redstone. Can't just scroll wheel it. And a piece of iron. You might guess what we're making here. But we're going to make a piston. And gotta use cobblestone. I think, anyways, you might be able to use deep slate, but we're gonna make a piston. We're gonna make a lever to go with it. And I can never make levers correctly. And yeah, let's go look. You might notice that someone's missing there. Because down here we have some new doors, and I've been very busy digging out and creating a villager farm. So this block right here, actually we want a sticky piston. I think we should have slime. Yeah, we've seen slime in this series. I had to think for a second. Yeah, we've seen slime. So we're gonna get a sticky piston, and this is what's going to basically allow us to turn the farm on and off. That's it. That's all we're doing right now. So I went ahead and built this farm. I will link it in the description. It was made by Logical Geek Boy, and I'm gonna alter it just a little bit because let's go over how it works. So first of all, we have our villagers in a farm, and these guys will just do this for now. So these guys, once I get them out of the boat, he should become a farmer and start farming these various carrots. And as soon as I put blocks here, they won't be able to get out. 2 blocks all the way around. And I just used deep slate because I had a lot of that from looking for the diamonds. I did a little bit of strip mining below the deep dark. It was fine. But basically, they can't get out here. This is too big. And eventually they will share the crops and breed at the designated times because that's what villagers do. And ignore the zombie sounds. Those are up at the mob farm. This is just to do that. So we're going to have some beds here. And the head of the bed will be there. And I think this one, it doesn't matter as much. But when these guys breed, the baby villager will go, hey, I see some beds. I want to jump on the beds. And villagers thinks they can walk across these because you could have them like this. But the baby villager will fall down and go into this water stream. Now, at the end of this water stream, right there, you can kind of see it. There is a cobblestone wall, which makes the babies a little bit taller. And so they will be here, but they're not tall enough to jump up into the water stream. But when they grow into adults, they will get pulled up, and then we can just have them like over here. For now, I think this is all we're gonna do. We're gonna put some torches here, and we're just gonna make sure these guys can't escape. And that should be fine. And then we can do whatever we want with the villagers at that point. So they all get put into this corner, and then we'll deal with them then. So what we could do, what the tutorial with Logical Geek Boy has, is a minecart transportation thing. We might use that eventually, especially once we get our or something similar to that. Once we have our iron farm, which is probably going to be over here. But for now, I just want to get some more villagers because it would be nice. Now, this farm works passively, meaning that they will constantly spawn. And I think we can actually get out if we do something like this. But they will constantly try to breed and spawn in more villagers. Let's go ahead and do this. We're going to break this just in case it matters. I don't think it does, but we're going to put it back. So these guys will constantly try to make more villagers, and that's fine. But eventually we'll want to not make villagers, more villagers. We'll have plenty to work with, and that's when we use our piston. So by turning this piston on, it blocks line of sight, and they don't breed anymore. Basically, they don't see the beds, and so they assume that there's not any more beds that they can use. So, let's get F3B. Yeah, hitboxes. And let's get these guys. That's not what I wanted. Get these guys free. And he became a farmer. Perfect. And I'll go ahead and replant these couple of things. Perfect. So we'll come back here later and make sure that we do in fact have some villagers. So I'll throw them a carrot. He'll pick it up probably, and they'll do their thing. So with that taken care of, villager farm should work. And then we can... Oh, hi. You're not actually in the farm. I'm going to assume these guys just came from nothing. Like, just normal spawns. But let's get rid of most of these guys. Get some levels. And we got nothing good. Okay, so from here, next thing to do is to get the last cat tamed. So there's one more cat in here that is scared, and it is being, wow, it is being very greedy. Kitty cat. Be a good kitty cat. I only have one more raw salmon. Okay, that cat just does not... It's a 1 in 3 chance. For the record, it is a 1 in 3 chance. That cat does not want to become tamed. So, I don't think I have any more fish. I don't think tropical fish work. I could spawn in some fish, but meh. I'm not going to worry about that. So the next thing I want to go do is we're going to go to the Nether for a moment and make sure we take our flint and steel just in case. We're going to take our silk touch pick this time, and I might combine these two picks and start using that as a primary pick, but we're going to go to the Nether. There is a handful of things I want there. Do we have any more food? Food is a little bit of an issue right now. We can make some bread. We can make some beef. I mean, I do have a bunch of animals. It's just a pain to farm them, I'll be honest. Let's go ahead and get just whatever food we can. We do have a little bit of bread. That should last us for now. So we're going to head smartly into the Nether. And what we're going to do is we're gonna go grab some blocks. So if you are unfamiliar, there are a handful of nether trees, the crimson stems and the warp stems, that you can only get if you have nylium. So let's murder some skeletons. And perfect. Get in there. Alright, so there is a ghast. Did you just spawn there? Interesting. So there is... I know there's a hoglin spawner right there. Which hoglins are terrible. Let's try to deal with this guy. Perfect. We do need to do something with the hoglins. I just have to remember how. And eventually we will need to breed the hoglins. That is the thing to do. But that's the stuff I want right now. We're just gonna get over here. And they should leave us alone. But we're gonna grab one of each of these. And one of each of these. That should be good enough. I do want to see if we come over here. How close are these biomes? Not quite there yet. So this is the warped, the basalt delta. Those are two biomes that we do not have access to yet. That we will need. And now we need to get back to our base. I think we can just hold this, and it should scare these guys. I'm gonna have to. That's a baby. I'm gonna have to see. Ow. I'm gonna have to see what they breed with, and I'd love to figure out where some of these spawners are. Excuse you. Because I do need to get the magma cubes. The small magma cubes need to go... Hi. They need to go into... Either we need to bring frogs to the nether, which I don't really want to do unless it is nice and safe. You can disappear. You're gonna hang out. Hi, creeper. Alright. There's probably just darkness. That's probably what it is. I mean, I know there's darkness. There is a lot of darkness. I still need to kind of clear out all the stuff. But it is a lot of work. And I would love to have an iron farm before I do that. But I got to make the iron farm and... Ugh, things... Alright, you can die now. Perfect. Okay. Still looking for a zombie to drop a potato. That would be nice. But with the nylium, we can do a couple things. So let's, I guess just right here for now. That's wrong block. We're going to put that down. And we're going to put this down. And then we're going to put some netherrack around it. And we have some bone meal. And we can spread this. Now, it doesn't spread normally. You have to actually bone meal the block. But this is how we can get all the nether stuff. Now, of that stuff, what do we need? Nothing, really. Except for the warp fungus. Warp fungus is incredibly important. So I do believe I have more than enough bone meal to get all of that. So that is something I'm going to do. So at this point, let's see, organics, you can go in there. We have one warp fungus. We need another warp fungus because we need to bring another strider into the overworld so we can breed them. That is kind of the like key thing. But I think what we're gonna do is I'm going to cut away for a moment. I want to make sure that we keep one of both of those safe. And then all the netherrack. We have plenty of netherrack, so I'm not worried about that. So what I'm going to do for now is this. Let's go check on our villagers. See if they have made any babies, and then we can I will cut away. I'm gonna go fish for a bit, try to get another little bit of fish so that we can get that taken care of. Okay, did I do this wrong? Nope. There is a baby villager right there. So eventually he will grow up and be up here, and then we can do a lot of fun stuff. So one thing that we need to do is send a villager to space. That is, we need to trade with a villager at the height limit, the build height limit. We also need to protect one from a shock. That's going to be easier once we have a trident, which I'm sure we will get at some point. And yeah, in general, we will just kind of have to wait around. We'll get a bunch of villagers and all that. So I am going to cut away for a moment. I'm going to fish for a bit, get a handful more fish so that we can get more stuff. Which, by the way, I enchanted a fishing rod with Luck of the Sea one. It was something. We're going to need to get looting on a book at some point, and we can honestly just use villagers at this point. So that is kind of a big thing. One of the most important villagers for us to get is going to be a librarian, and in order to get that, we are going to need a lectern. The reason a librarian is so important is less about the enchanted books that they trade and more about another trade that they have, which is glass. Glass is a very rare resource on this map because there's not much sand, and we will run out of sand eventually. But villagers are a renewable source of glass, and so that is what we'll end up using. So I'm gonna fish. I'm gonna try to get this cat tamed. I'm gonna wait around for a little bit for the villagers to improve their numbers, and then yeah, we'll grab a couple of more things. We'll go grab another strider and go from there. So I will be back once I have some stuff done. Alright, so I have 17 fish, so hopefully this cat behaves. And of course it was one more. Alright, so let's get these cats out of the boat, because we don't need to have them in there anymore. And eventually I will move these guys down to our zoo, I guess, is the best way I could put it. We'll move them down below, because that's where they'll go. That's it. So I will probably end up making a pen like this for them because they like to sit on chests and prevent them from opening and other annoying things. But let's go ahead and clear up the inventory again. You might notice I have a bunch of stuff in my inventory. Boats go down here. And let's put these in here for now. Okay. So we have 2 crimson fungus. Let's go ahead and put gold boots on, because we're going to head back to the nether. But before we do, just want to show, I did in fact go ahead and get a good bit of nylium. So we have a little bit of a nylium farm if we need it. And the villagers have been breeding quite well. Haven't had any of them grow up yet, but we do have, last I looked was like 3. Yep, there is 3 villagers right there. So they are doing their thing. I don't know why he only stands at that door, but whatever. So we'll let them grab as many as they want. And probably next episode, we'll figure out. I will probably make the iron farm. A lot of it depends on how much time I have to do stuff. But we'll make the iron farm, and then with that, we should be able to. There's a couple ways to get a villager to build height. But let's go ahead and turn that off. Had the light level thing on. Okay, so this extrusion, we want 2 hoglins. Yeah, so there is a spawner right in there. 2 adult hoglins. There we go. And so we're gonna click you and click you, and then hopefully get out of range so that they can breed. No? Hey, I will murder you. Alright, so I think the hoglins died. So other thing I want to do now is set myself on fire, apparently. Alright, let's get out of here for a moment. And we can get as many crimson fungi that we need, so I'm not worried about that. But we do need to eventually breed the hoglins. That is going to be a pain. So let's do a couple of things. First of all, we have 26 levels. It should not cost that much to combine these 2 pickaxes. And that is going to give us Silk Touch. So that's 10, 5. Silk Touch, Efficiency 3. Pretty good. Let's throw that in there. I do have more Crimson Fungus. And we're going to be a little bit smarter about this. Can we make... I mean, we have a bunch of Nether brick. How do you make Nether brick fences? Is it like so? Yes. Alright, let's get a bunch of those. And we'll trap in a couple of the guys. And let's go ahead and grab our warp fungus on a stick. And we'll bring a strider into the overworld as well. So, basically for the rest of today's episode, we're going to do a little bit of miscellaneous kind of nethery things. Because we need to wait for more villagers, honestly. And eventually we'll have the villagers that we need. We can do all the things that we want. Alright, so let's just build a little bit of a cage that I totally didn't mess up. And you can't get in here. That is good. Alright. But you can certainly hurt me. Alright, let's... Nope. Okay. This is going to be a little bit more challenging than I had thought. Let's break this. Put that there. And perfect. Now to get 2, we should go get another one. Alright, hey, you. Come over here. You're both following me. This is good. Alright, we're just gonna stand down here. And, ow. 1 and 2. Nope. Alright, too much stuff. Too much stuff. Gotta run. This is ill-planned. But hey, if it works, it works. That's all that matters. But they're gonna get hunted. Okay. Didn't work. I need to get rid of these giant guys. And probably the smaller ones as well. Smaller ones... Uh-oh. I messed up. Very badly. Very, very badly. And I can't place blocks quickly enough. This is bad. This is bad. Alright, so... how's your day going? Because mine just got a lot worse. Okay. And now it's even worse. Okay. Run, run, run. Run to my door. Run to my door. Okay. So, these guys are very angry, which kind of makes the Nether very dangerous. Ow. Put that stuff in there. We can just sit here. This is a good gold/experience farm. And I don't think they can get to us, which is what's important. So we can just kind of sit here and murder them, question mark? We do have to watch out for the babies. But luckily, fairly easy to deal with. Where'd they all go? Okay, so we have a little bit of a problem, and it will be dealt with eventually, I'm sure. But yeah, I hope that they don't keep spawning, but they might. The only other option that I know of to get rid of all these guys is to get outside their aggro range, which unfortunately I don't know what it is. And I think it's pretty far, so I will tell you guys what. Ow. I didn't bring my flint and steel. That's unfortunate. Well, there goes my levels. Oh well. Of things that matter, that's not a huge deal. Alright, I think if they kill us, they will be appeased. So, there we go. Alright, let's do this. Let's always have a flint and steel in the Nether. And hopefully it doesn't ruin anything. But I do think that we have kind of done enough for today. I know we didn't get too much done, but we have infinite villagers now. Let's go see if any of them have actually matured. And if they have, like I said, we have like 2 options to get them to build height. We can either make a like a minecart track, and yep, we have one that's completely grown. So if we hit this, it will turn it off. These guys will no longer make any more babies, but I don't want that. So yeah, we have infinite villagers. We have all of the crimson and warped stems that we could ever want. And now we have another portal, which is way up here. I don't hate that, but that's also not good. I'm gonna have to deal with that. That's gonna be a pain. So we're gonna keep a flint and steel in the Nether now, and the pigmen should not be mad at me anymore. They should be cool. We can get a little bit of our stuff back, and we come out here, grab all of their stuff. So yeah, I need to figure out a good way to get things taken care of with the hoglins, and then we'll also go and grab the another guy, another strider from down below. That shouldn't be too much of a problem, just as long as there is some that have spawned. And I might even, I think what I might do is try to attract some of these magma cubes to go into the overworld. And if we can get that, then if we can get 3 of them, we should be able to get we should be able to, hey, wait, you can open doors? I didn't know that. Why are you mad? If we can get 3 magma cubes into the overworld, we should be able to get the frogs to get the frog lights. So I think that's something I will work on as well. I will get these guys. I do wonder if they're going to go through the door. And I don't think I can lead them or anything like that, leash them. So this is going to be a waiting game. And I'll tell you guys what, I will do this, and then in the next episode we will get the frog lights. Will you go through the door? Will you go through the door? Come on. Because I don't mind having to... Hey, you will come through the door. Let's grab some food. And let's just do a proof of concept. Because if I can avoid having to bring the frogs to the Nether, then everything will be great. And I don't have to worry about figuring out where that spawner is or anything like that. So you're up here. Let's go grab a frog. We're going to do this real quick, and then proof of concept, right? So our frogs are in here. Are they free? No. But we can make them free. We can grab one. We can leash these guys. And let's grab an axe. F3B. Best tip I can ever say. Look at the hitboxes when trying to break animals out of boats. Boats are super useful. So you get to come with me. Let's actually grab you. Bring you into the boat. Alright, perfect. We're gonna break these. And you like magma cream, don't you? So come on. Yeah, there we go. I can drag you. I can drag you all the way. F3B. Come on. Up here. Alright, now to the Nether portal. And hopefully, I see the magma cube. Come on. There's a magma cube right there. Do it. Perfect. There's one. So now I get to bring you back down, and I will deal with that. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to, I think, I can't just hook you onto here, can I? I can. Okay, perfect. So I'm going to bring the frogs up here. I'm going to try to get the magma cubes in a place where I can actually do something with them. And then it'll be easier to take the frogs back down in boats. So that's going to be the plan. So I'm going to work on that between episodes. I might start planning out the iron farm. We'll see about that. And then, yeah, we'll continue doing what we've been doing. Trying to get the hoglins to spawn. Maybe it would be better to put a fence around where they spawn. I think that might be what we do. But I am going to get things into position, and next time we're going to get all the frog lights and go from there. So I hope you guys enjoyed this episode, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye!